In the quiet early hours of the morning, as the sun lifts gently above the horizon, every gardener knows that the secret to thriving soil lies not in what you add, but in what you understand. And today we explore one of the oldest, yet most transformative soil-building techniques known to humankind, biochar. But unlike the usual methods involving heavy drums, metal kilns, or specialized equipment, this is biochar in its simplest, most accessible form. A method so effortless that anyone, farmer, gardener, or curious beginner, can do it right in their backyard. This, dear listener, is the easiest way to make biochar without a barrel or drum. Biochar is more than burnt wood. It is a carbon-rich, porous structure capable of transforming soil health. When created properly, biochar becomes a refuge for microorganisms, a sponge for nutrients, and a reservoir for moisture. It improves poor soils, revitalizes exhausted ones, and stabilizes nutrients that would otherwise wash away. Its benefits last not seasons, not years, but centuries. Yet, for all its long-term power, biochar's creation can be remarkably simple. The top-lit pit method, the simplest technique of all. No drums, no metal barrels, no fancy pyrolysis machines, just soil, firewood, and a shallow pit. Imagine a small fire built not above ground, but within the soil itself. The earth acts as insulation, controlling the airflow and slowing the burn, so the wood transforms into stable carbon rather than turning to ash. This is known as the top-lit method, and here is how it works. Step 1. Dig a simple, shallow pit. You begin by digging a pit in the ground. It doesn't need to be deep, just 30 to 40 centimeters. A diameter of 60 to 80 centimeters will suit a home garden perfectly. The shallowness is deliberate. Too deep, and oxygen becomes scarce. Too wide, and the fire becomes difficult to control. At this size, the burn will be stable, efficient, and predictable. Smooth the sides and base of the pit. This creates a clean surface that limits excessive airflow from below. Step 2. Fill the pit with dry biomass. Next, gather your feedstock. The best materials include dry branches, tree trimmings, corn cobs, coconut shells, dried sunflower stalks, and pruned fruit tree sticks. All should be dry. Wet material smokes excessively and produces lower quality char. Pack the pit loosely, not tightly. Too much compaction prevents proper burning. Too much openness invites too much oxygen. The aim, always, is controlled oxygen. Step 3. Light the fire from the top. Now comes the art. Instead of lighting the fire from below, we light it from the top. This single change makes all the difference. Top lighting creates a downward moving burn, where the upper layer turns to flame, while the lower layers heat without becoming fully oxygenated. This produces pyrolysis, the very heart of biochar production. It ensures that the upper materials burn completely, the lower materials carbonize, the fire remains clean and smokeless, and precious carbon stays intact. The flame gently consumes the surface, gradually sinking into the pit, like a slow, controlled wave. Step 4. Monitor the burn, but don't stir it. Now, this part really does require a bit of patience. Simply observe the fire as it slowly travels downward. You'll notice the wood on top burns brightly, while the layers beneath begin to turn black and crumbly. Do not stir, do not poke, and definitely do not mix. Stirring introduces oxygen, which turns precious carbon into ash. Instead, just let the burn proceed naturally. You'll know it's nearly ready when the flames weaken, and the topmost layer starts turning a soft, powdery grey. Step 5. Quench immediately. The moment the flame reaches the bottom, you must stop the burn. Quenching is absolutely essential. You may use water, soil, or even a mixture of both. Water is usually the easiest. Pour generously, making sure every glowing ember is completely extinguished. You should hear a bit of hissing as the reaction stops. The goal here is to prevent any carbon from turning to ash. After quenching, stir gently to cool the interior layers. What emerges really is pure, stable biochar. Step 6. Crush, activate, and apply. Raw biochar is powerful, but, well, it's empty. Think of it like a sponge, fresh from the factory. It's got pores, but no nutrients. So, before adding it to your soil, charge it by mixing with compost, manure tea, worm castings, or liquid fertilizer. Let it soak for at least 24 to 48 hours. This ensures two things. First, the biochar won't steal nutrients from your soil. And second, soil microbes will colonize the pores for immediate impact. Once activated, it can be added to garden beds, potted plants, and crop fields. This pit method, you see, it actually replicates the same principles as a metal drum, but, well, it uses the earth itself as insulation. Here's why it works. Limited oxygen slows the burning, high heat drives off gases and creates carbon structures, and top lighting ensures clean, even pyrolysis. The pit walls, they protect from wind and heat loss. It's efficient, low-cost, environmentally friendly, and frankly, achievable anywhere on the planet where soil can be dug. With just a single burn, you can produce enough biochar to amend an entire garden bed. Over time, the soil becomes softer, richer, darker, and, well, more alive. Biochar doesn't feed plants directly. Rather, it creates the environment in which plants thrive effortlessly. Water retention improves, nutrients stop leaching, microbial life absolutely explodes, and your garden begins to resemble the deep, fertile soils of ancient forests. Biochar is not just a gardening trick. It is, in truth, a powerful act of restoration. With nothing more than a shallow pit, a pile of sticks, and the wisdom of top lighting, we can create one of nature's most remarkable soil enhancers. No drums, no equipment, no complexity, just earth, fire, and understanding, and in this simple union, the soil lives again.